The single most encouraging number in April's Dufferin County real estate data is the average days on the market. 44 days, down from 55 in March. In Orangeville, detached homes average just 31 days on the market. That is the fastest pace I've seen all year. Spring is not just arriving, it's here and it's moving. But there are a few things in this month's data that need some context, and I want to make sure that I give you a full picture before you make a decision. I am Priya Chauhan, your Dufferin County real estate specialist, and every month I break down the real estate data just so you have the clear picture of what's happening in our neighborhood. Not the regional headline, just what's happening in our neighborhood. The first number I'm going to talk about is the number of sales. 63 sales in April, that is up from 59 in March. The market continued to grow through spring peak. Orangeville led with 33 sales. That is the strongest month I've seen in a long time. Mono had 8 sales, Shelburne had 8, Grand Valley had 5, Melancthon had just 1 sale, but it's a number worth talking about, but I will come back to it. The second number I'm going to talk about is the average sale price. The countywide average came in at $843,075, which is down from $895,092 in March. Now, I want to address this first of all because it may sound like the number has gone down and it's alarming, but it's not. We had a few high-value rural transactions in Mono and Amaranth last month that pushed the average a little bit higher. The April's mix was a little bit more balanced than what it was in March. There was some stronger in-house Orangeville activity, and the average price came up to $710,734. Now, the median price, which is less sensitive to these outliers, it came in at about $723,000. That is a more reliable read, and that is typically averaging around more or less where a typical home is right now. The third number I'm going to talk about is days on the market. 44 days countywide, which is meaningfully down from 55 in March. Now, this is the strongest data that we have seen all year. In Orangeville, detached homes averaged just 31 days. Semi-detached homes averaged 34 days. Townhomes averaged 37. These are genuinely healthy numbers. Properties are moving. Well-priced, well-presented homes in Orangeville are not just sitting, they are selling within a month. The next number I'm going to talk about is the sale to list price ratio. Sale to list price ratio is 96% countywide, essentially flat from 95% in March. Now in Orangeville, detached homes averaged 97% list to sale price, semi-detached were at 98%, condo townhomes were at 98% as well. Now these are solid numbers. They are telling you that the gap between asking and selling price is just 2%, which is very narrow. The sellers who are pricing their home aggressively from the get-go are getting very close to what they are asking. This is a very healthy dynamic. The next number we're going to talk about is inventory. 401 active listings at the end of the month, with 214 new listings entering the market in April. This is the highest active listing count we have seen all year. What this means is that the supply is keeping pace with the improved buyer demand. The market is expanding on both sides. The buyers have some choices and the sellers have competition. Neither of them is a problem. It's just a balanced, functioning market. If you are a buyer in Dufferin County, what does it mean for you? The improved days on the market is a good news for you. It does not mean that you are back in that 2021 frenzy where you have 24 to 48 hours to make a decision. The right homes are finding the buyers faster. A 44 days average, it still gives you meaningful time to do your due diligence, include your conditions, and make that decision carefully. The rising inventory is actually your biggest advantage in this spring. 401 active listings, it means you are not scrambling to find your options. You can compare, you can be selective. The buyers who are struggling right now are the ones who are targeting either too narrow of a price range or too narrow of a geography. If you slightly widen your lens or zoom out, there are options that you can choose from. For buyers who are specifically eyeing Orangeville, the pace has picked up. Detached homes selling for 31 days. That means you need to be ready. You need to be pre-approved and you need to be clear on what are your must-haves and good-to-haves. By this, I don't mean panic buying. I mean, when you see the right property on the market, you need to be ready to be able to make a decision because that property for sure is not going to stay on the market for very long. If you've been eyeing on some rural properties in East Carriffrix or Amaranth, those are the properties that have been sitting on the market for a little bit longer, about 109 to 120 days respectively. Buyers who have some patience and the right kind of financing in place, they probably will have a little bit of more negotiating room possible in these rural properties. For my sellers in Dufferin County, April is a clear signal that the window is open and the buyers are active. The data in April has been the strongest all year. 33 sales, 97% list to sale price ratio. Detached homes were averaging 31 days on the market. If you have a home to sell in Orangeville, these are the best possible conditions we have had in the entire 2026. If you are looking to sell your home in Orangeville, you need to price it right, present it well, and have a real marketing plan. Now, I want to come back and use that one sale in Melancthon as an example this month because it tells us a very important story. There was one sale in Melancthon in April, just one. The property sold at 99% of the asking price in 34 days. That seller chose not to sit on the market for 3 months. They priced their property according to today's market. A qualified buyer found them very quickly and was willing to pay them close to what they were asking. Meanwhile, there are still about 20 active listings sitting in Melancthon. The difference between that one sale and those 20 listings is most certainly the price. Not the market conditions, the price. The takeaway from this is that the buyers are there. The homes are moving faster, but these buyers are informed buyer. They know where the market is. They know the market conditions. They know what they are willing to pay, and they are making their choices. If you want to talk about what April's data means for your specific situation, buying or selling, feel free to click on the first link in the description to book a free 15 minutes consultation with me. Let's recap what we have discussed in this video and what am I keeping an eye on in the coming months. April's data confirmed that the Dufferin County market is genuinely going into a balanced spring market. It's not heated, it's not distressed. These are the healthiest market conditions to operate in. It's better for everybody. This is not the 2021 frenzy or 2023 paralysis. The days on the market improvement from 55 days in March to 44 days in April, this has been the very meaningful trend so far. If it continues in May and June, we will be looking at a very active spring market that we have seen in several years. The inventory bill, 401 active listings, that's a natural counterbalance. More listing means the seller need to continue getting buyer attention through pricing and presentation. Now, what I am watching going forward is the Bank of Canada's meeting in June and their signal around the rate direction, how it would influence buyers, and would the buyers be coming out of sidelines before the summer? Any rate movement could have an effect on buyer qualification and confidence. If you are waiting on a rate cut before making a move, you're practically taking a gambling in a way that could probably cost you the best spring market inventory in 2026. I think This market right now is the most constructive market I've seen in Dufferin County before this rate cycle began. The buyers have inventory and they have negotiation room. The sellers have qualified and motivated buyers. With market moving faster, one of the most common questions I'm getting right now is about sequencing, whether to buy before you sell or sell before you buy. And the answer is more nuanced than you think. I break the whole thing down in another video. The link should be on the screen right now. I am Priya Chauhan, your Dufferin County real estate expert, and I will be back here with you with May numbers. See you then.